What's good, YouTube? I got a pretty interesting video for you guys today. I want to talk about reflecting on different eras with music and art and things like that from your past, even within the past decade, and looking back and thinking how in the moment it didn't seem special, but then looking at it now, you're like, oh my god, I didn't realize what we had. So I'm gonna talk about SoundCloud shit first, because you know that's, if you know my channel, you know I make beats. I'm into the SoundCloud shit. That's me, right? Then I'll also talk about some industry shit, you know what I'm saying? We could talk about, like, you know, the artists like SZA, Lord, and LORD, and like Claro, and things like that, or whatever. I might talk about the industry artists, but now, and then the third, I want to talk about eras with how you looked and you were around certain friendships. So actually, let me not even restrict this to just physical things. Let's just talk about eras and reflecting on them and not realizing what you have until it's already too late. But first, let me take it. Because as I was saying that about different eras with like music and things like that, I realized that always complimented who I was around. Like, my music taste is always really influenced by whoever I hang out with, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite feelings in the world is to be in the car with a couple people singing song lyrics and we all know the lyrics together. Has got to be one of the most satisfying and fulfilling moments of friendship. On my birthday, Finn was driving me around with him and his girlfriend. We were all kind of singing the lyrics to Kylie Jenner by MySpace Mark, and I was like, dude, this is amazing. So looking back at eras, you're pretty happy in the moment, right? You're like, oh yeah, but then you have certain gripes and things get you mad that day and like whatever. But then you look back like 6 months later and you're like, dog, that was like peak, like that was like the best. Everything was so good until blank. You never realize what you have until it's long gone, right? If people realize when they die, that's why you say like they have the crazy regrets before they die, or they reflect on their whole life, because as soon as it's about to be taken away from you, that's when everything gets serious, you know what I'm saying? But when you can be lazy and kind of move as like things aren't, when you can take things for granted and it doesn't feel like things are gonna end, like for example, friends, college friends, like people that don't live where you're from but like come to visit for school, that's one of the easiest things to take for granted. I took one of my close foreign exchange student friends so for granted toward the end of when they were about to leave, you know what I'm saying? I regret this shit forever, because I'm like, now I never get to see these people again. And I didn't realize the moments that we had, how great they were and how great of a person they were. But I was kind of just being like a disco, like, oh, they'll be there forever. Oh, them moments, it's always gonna be like that. You know, you look back at the eras from when you're like 19 to 21 and your friends are always hanging out. There's always a kickback every other night. There's always a fire at somebody's house, smoking, rolling up blunts at somebody's like project building or whatever. And then you fast forward to when you're a little older, 24, 25, and a lot of your friends, some are even married, having kids, taking this big step back on friendships, which obviously completely fine. Like I said, to each his own lifestyle and life. But that's how it goes. You look back at them eras like, damn, we used to pop shit. Like, we had such a good time, right? And it's not that, and when you try to force it now, and when you're like, oh, like, for good old time's sake, it's like, it's never the same, right? Because in your mind, you're thinking about it. Back then, you weren't thinking about it. You were enjoying that moment for what it was, and then now you're looking back, wishing you could return to that moment. Beats is like the number one thing that does this to me. I'll listen to a beat from 2023 or 2022 and be like, what? Like, what? At what point or what was happening in my life that I was making this shit that sounds like this? Looking back at that era, I'll be like, that shit was so crazy. And then I'll try to go make a beat like it, and it's just never gonna hit the same, because back then I wasn't trying to make something that was from the past. I was just making to make. So when you make your memories, bro, just make them to make them. Don't like over force shit, you know what I'm saying? And don't over force nostalgia. Just create new memories, create new eras to look back at. I'm already looking back at like the February 2025, and it's only May, gang. I'm already looking at that era of February 2025 when I was linking up with Tracy every weekend in New York and Boston and things. I'm looking back at that era because now me and Tracy haven't been able to link up as often. I'm like, damn, that era was the best. We was outside all the time. and now shit's kind of slowed down. But that's cool, man. It's like you don't look back at the eras and how things change in a bad way. You look at them to reminisce about how good things were, how good you had it. You know what I'm saying? It helps you become more grateful for the situations that you have now. Because now I realize every time I go to Boston and I go to New York, when Finn moves out of that apartment and when Tracy moves from Boston or however it all happens, the nostalgia and the era from that place will change. You know, I used to chill with Larissa every weekend when I went to Boston. She moved out of Boston to somewhere like 30-40 minutes out, and now I ain't seen her once, bro. And it's just the simple truth. That's how it works, gang. Like, a lot of the times, like, things are based on situation and convenience, and you yearn for something, and then as you get like as the era ends and you try to like force back what it used to be, it would be like, oh, like old times at the old place, it just don't feel the same. And there's no need to force it, bro. Look back at all the eras and be happy that you lived like that, and how everything happened. Look back at all the bad moments and be happy that you went through that, because you wouldn't be who you were today. You wouldn't be as strong of a character. Now I understand a lot of people say, oh, well, I wouldn't have the anxieties and the traumas that I have today. Of course, bro, but you can't take back from the past. So when people tell you what I just told you, it's because they're trying to soften the blow, bro. They're trying to tell you there's a lot in this life that you can achieve while even still having them traumas and anxieties. Looking back at from when I was younger in like high school and them different eras, like I don't really reminisce them eras. Like I distinctly remember the eras by music and like cover arts on my phone, wired headphones from Dollar Tree, and like walking home from school. But the eras that deeply hit for me are like from 2020 to 2025. There's such specific moments and such specific people that I spent my time with that I don't talk to anymore, really, or they kind of like shut me out, or I shut them out, which is okay, bro. Like I said, it's life. You would never expect anyone to tolerate you. You would never want someone to force themselves to be cool with you, right? Just let the truth be out, man. Let the truth be known. Do this shit for the love, man. Because, you know, one day you won't be able to enjoy it like how you're enjoying it now. And one day you'll be like, wow, them times were so simple. Like how everyone says now, oh, I miss when I was this. I miss when this. Everything was so simple. Then you're going to get to 35 and it's like you got a 10-year-old kid to worry about or something. Or like a 5-year-old kid, right? A lot of crazy shit happens as you get older. I feel like a kid forever, though, for sure, with my, like, bubbliness. I know it's a little bit unrelated to the topic, but I just feel like I'm that kid on the school bus leaning his head against the window playing his Game Boy Advance. Like, that's always gonna be me, man, with the music, my headphones, my iPod Nano. I had the shit that was like this, and you could only go back forward and press up and down on the volume, and then to go back, you had to, like, triple tap it, like... That's why I really fuck with my VITA, man, because everything on here is like the perfect... This is the perfect vibe. Honestly, man, I'm gonna really try to put all my music on the VITA so I can just take my VITA with me places. And just carry the portable charger, because my phone is so for the birds, bro. I think I need a flip phone, man. It's about time. Looking back, I could definitely see myself reflecting on 2023 and 2024 and how carefree I was without my phone and things like that. But I want to make it, man. And in this society and these days, word of mouth is a little harder. You know, the social media is a cheat code to going up, bro. I don't want to chance it. I want to go up. So, I'm going to be posting daily. I'm going to post on TikTok, post on YouTube. Might post on Instagram Reels. Not sure yet. Probably not YouTube Shorts, but... Anyways, yeah, boys, I really appreciate you tapping into the video. About to go in the house, eat some sun chips, and smack this dab pen a bunch. And just have a relaxing rest of the night, for real. Yeah, boys, be safe.